All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. And tonight I have a special guest. He's no stranger to Search for Huru. It's brother Bomani Tyehimba. And tonight's topic is what's going on in the Dominican Republic has nothing to do with Africa. Again, there's no connection on what's going on with Dominican Republic with Africa. For some reason, I don't know why people are even correlating, what's going on with the Dominican Republic with Africa. Because I'm guessing and correct me if I'm wrong, Bomani, since people already have this conception that Africa is just dangerous. So since the Dominican Republic, people are dying from bootleg liquor, they think it's probably just out of control in Africa now. Is that where you're getting the Bomani, brother Bomani?
Uh, what I'm getting is you just hear these stories of folks going off into different parts of the Caribbean. That's what I've heard, mainly Dominican Republic and a few other islands. And so when anything happened, with black folks in black countries, automatically, there's a fear of Africa, even if it's not in Africa, or a fear of black folks. But I'm always here to tell our brothers and sisters that the African continent has been the safest continent I've ever traveled to out of the
Me too.
continents. And countries like Ghana, Senegal, Gambia, peaceful, and Togo, Benin, no drama. And these are things that are not us as a people. When you list the different crimes that goes on in the countries, like like you've been to Senegal a lot, and I've
Mhm.
been there during my first set of years going, and then I've been to Ghana, and then the things you hear reported as crime, and then when you come back here, you turn on, whether you go on YouTube or TV, and it's no level of comparison. The crimes that you usually hear about that goes on in West Africa is just petty crimes. The things that goes on in other places are straight hardcore felony. Uh,
Right.
so I tend to, when people ask me where I'm going, it's always to Africa. And I tell people that's where I feel the safest at. I've been to countries like Dominican Republic, and I can see how things go wrong quick. Number one, the hate energy is there already from this, the bastard energy of the Spaniards. Whether it's a majority or less than the majority of people mixed with that evilness, but at the same
Mhm.
time, you're talking about a country that's been propped up by one of the wickedest oppressors to to get to mix our people in a way where it creates a level of this hate and hate from different shades of color. So you're dealing with colorism and racism and just the hate of dark skinned people. When you go into some of these countries, especially some of these Spanish speaking countries, and even when I was in Brazil, you can feel that tension. Uh,
Oh, okay, you brought up Brazil. Now, where did you go in Brazil?
I went to Rio de Janeiro and Salvador de Bahia.
Because Brazil is the black man sex tourism capital of the planet, and they make it seem as if if you walk around Rio de Janeiro, you are a god. So, how was your experience in Rio?
I love the energy in Brazil in general. But what I'm also saying to folks, it's a nice place to go chill, enjoy the roots, the culture. It's a part of our history as a people, and a very big part of it. But at the same time, too, when you go into some of these countries, the foundation of hatred towards us as dark-skinned, black, melanated people has been rooted, and it's probably rooted everywhere else also. But it's like a modern day situation, So, at the same time too, we just have to be careful as far as people, wherever you go. If you're a tourist, you're subject to being targeted. But there's two different level of targeting. There's one level of targeting where I might be in Ghana, where I'm being charged maybe a few cents more for something.
Now,
And then
Bomani, in
I
Ghana,
was
it's,
scared.
it's,
And then a
it's
lot of when you're in like one of these Spanish speaking countries where people looking to kidnap you, rob you, beat you, hurt you, and literally just end your life. So it's like that's a level of comparison that people see, because sometimes people don't, they hear things and they don't analyze it. But being around the different parts of the world, you and I can kind of put this thing together.
I was saying in Ghana, it's not a few pennies. They try those street vendors try to rape you. Shit.
But no one is trying to take your life. They're just trying to make charge you a little extra because you got that tourist smile.
Yeah, a little extra, a whole lot extra. So you've been to Dominican. How was your experience in Dominican?
I'm one of those guys, from the streets that I make my way around. Sometimes, most of the time, not in groups, but in times when I work for the airlines and when I just want to take a vacation or just get away from this. Sometimes you just got to get away from here, and you just you're right there by Atlanta Airport. You get on a jet plane and you just go somewhere and you just like get away and you just kick back and just refocus. So for myself, I mean, it was good. I felt fine and safe. I have my translator and everything, and naturally, I'm one of the person that's gonna be drawn to our brothers from Haiti. So so I connected with a few Haitians, and I connected in a country that's I just enjoyed this a regular just getaway, hanging out at the beach, social nightlife, and so on. But at the same time, too, you have to just always keep in mind that you're somewhere where you don't speak the language, and at any moment, someone can try to set you up, whether you're flashy or not. But at the same time, too, what you really want to do, you want to kind of blend in as best as possible. And you don't want to be looking flashy with chains, watches, and you don't want to be pulling out money, and you don't want to be acting a certain way. So those are some of the ways that, where I see that you have less issue. But the main thing is, ever since I started traveling in the military, we always travel as a unit, and that's like usually the safest practice. So the groups that you and I do, that tend to be the safest way people are safe getting in and out of countries. But at the same time, too, we understand that not everybody's going to go with a group. So they just have to basically just try to blend in. And then one of the best things is to connect with somebody that's local that you already know already, or like how you do it. You get referrals or recommendations from people, and and then folks just connect you more like a family energy, and they're gonna look out for you.
Let's see what we got here in the chat room. So, would you advise people to go to Dominican Republic?
Me personally, not at all. I would advise them to come to countries like Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania. Countries where you're gonna get nothing but love, and where that's your people there, and your people, and you can actually connect to something. When you go to a country like Dominican Republic, it's a tourist country. The nice beaches, beautiful women, nice parties, and things like that. But at the same time, and then fake Spanish history. But right. Beyond that it's not much more than that. If you're trying to get a piece of of that and a lot more, the countries I just named is perfect because you can build a future, you can connect into the country, and then you don't have to go whole hopping. You can actually go there and actually find you a cultural wife. That's and you can actually build something. So that's why I'm explaining to people the difference between going to like Africa, and going to like Brazil and the Dominican Republic.
Somebody in the chat room is asking, why don't you go to Ethiopia anymore?
I did one trip to there's at the end of the day you want to go to all parts of Africa, but you have a business to run, you got bills to pay, child to take care of, investments to make, and things like that. So you got to keep on rolling with what works. So Ghana's one of the product that works. South Africa, I'm building that relationship, and all those itinerary, Ethiopia, Senegal, I got those itinerary, but don't have enough people interested in going to Africa to really do a bunch of tours. But at the same time, too, that's the goal.
Okay. Let's see what else we have here in the chat room. Let me ask, it's so hard. Okay, so Bomani, the people who say that you don't have to go all the way to Africa to experience African culture because you have Black countries, Jamaica, Haiti, pretty much the Caribbean, here on this side of the world. What would be your response to that?
Yeah, countries
like, say you need to experience the Caribbean first before you go to Africa. What would be your response to that?
I would say, there's no sequence and steps in doing these. Just like when I first started doing tours, I just went out there and did these big tours to Africa. It was never let me just do some tours to the Caribbean or do some tours to Florida. People always want to make it seem like like compare everything to being a baby and taking, and you don't have to do that. You can, most of the people that travel with me, they never been anywhere outside of America, and then the first place they're going is Ghana with me, and it's it's nice if you've been to different parts of the Caribbean before, it would definitely get you prepared. I mean, me being born in Jamaica got me a whole lot prepared for Ghana. I just really felt like I was home, the Jamaica of Africa. So that can be, very beneficial to a point. And the same thing Amicus explained to me when she was looking to leave America. She went to Jamaica first, and then when she went to Ghana, that was like a complete package.
Ya Ankara Akan says, "Laugh out loud. I'm Jamaica. Jamaica is not Africanized anymore." This, what they're saying is the Chinese have pretty much owned Jamaica now. Is that true?
Yeah, as time goes along, more and more of these small countries, small islands are going to be taken over by European and Asian powers as far as this the economy itself. But so people lose their culture because you have more foreign stuff coming in. But at the same time, if you're born in that culture in that era, it gives you it's a closer connection to Africa than if I was born in America. Without sounding strange or funny to anybody. So um, a lot has changed since then. But at the same time, the best thing now is for folks is to look to the African continent and for us to put our resources together, energy together. And as you see with the Ghanaian government, and they've been going around different parts of the Caribbean, and they've been re-emphasizing that the agreements, they've always had bilateral agreements where you can travel from the Caribbean to the African continent, various countries without any visas and everything. So and those diplomatic missions, those are helping, and it also helped people who, no, you have a lot of people in the Caribbean that want to go to the African continent because people communicate with me, ask me about visas, transit visas, saying they can't get paperwork to go to Europe or America, so there's no way for them to get to Africa. So all those things, are definitely things that are helping.
Let's see what else we have here in the chat room. Everyone, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Please hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. It's free. So hit that like button. Hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button. Now, Bomani, you mentioned the how Jamaica has a reciprocal, I guess, agreement with Ghana in regards to Jamaicans don't have to pay for a visa and Ghanaians don't have to pay a visa to go to Jamaica. Is there a way where Ghana could implement the same, I guess, program for Black Americans, or would it have to be for all Americans?
It's probably impossible in both situations for them to do that. And I know when we hear these things that the folks in the Caribbean are getting, we're like, what about us? What about us? But the situation for folks in the Caribbean is always going to be different as far as the finance and the average salary and those situations. But beyond that, the direct situation is 100 people, Ghanaian citizens, could be lined up outside the American embassy, and literally maybe 5 to 10 get a visa, and then they all have to pay 150, and then regardless if you get it or not, the money is taken. Myself and others.
It's like that. It's like that in Nigeria. Like it's crazy. They don't get the money back. That's crazy.
Yeah. So so these countries are pissed off from that situation, but at the same time, too, America is going to say that they can't allow so many people in, and all that political stuff. But nevertheless, that alone right there makes it hard because they're looking at that situation. I've had so many people complain like every time I go up there, they just take my money and then nothing. So that situation alone is going to cause that to almost never happen unless America turn around and be a little more respectful for Black folks from Ghana who want to come to America. So we as Black people have to suffer for these ignorant folks here. And it would be nice if something special was organized, but that's what citizenship is for.
Right.
For those of us who can get it.
Let me ask this: what is the process as far as a Jamaican wanting to get a visa to come to America? I thought it would be pretty easy, if this is a Caribbean country.
It's sometimes it's the luck of the role, and sometimes it's how you can build your connection. Some people have better connections in America, so that always helps. And it's know much of anybody, and some people work it out to scholarship, work it to. But it's still a situation where you got a small. I don't know the exact numbers, but you have a small percentage of people who get visas, and sometimes it's not a visa where you can stay. So it's just one of those things where America look at it as everybody want to come to America, so they have to have their restrictions, or else we'll take over. My folks from the Caribbean, once you get enough of us there, that's what we're doing. We're just looking to take over, but that's same as the limitation from folks from Africa, because the ones of us that are coming are very just like hungry for opportunity. So, but nevertheless, that's the restriction, and that's why I always say that the best thing that we can do is make things better in the country that we're from as a people, and invite Black people from Europe and America and say, hey, come to the Caribbean, come to Africa, and let's build something as Black people. You're here with your own people. Let's do something. It's not as simple as that, but that's what Angla pushed, because some folks who just be trying to get to America for the rest of their lives, in different different countries outside of America, instead of trying to see what they can put together and work on. And some people get lucky, and some people just die trying.
Somebody in the chat room said the truth is that Africa isn't really free. For some reason, we still rely on the colonizers to drive our government. I mean, just look at the Francophone countries. Their country is controlled by France. Now, this whole argument that Africa is still controlled by Europe and the Chinese are taking over, that's why we shouldn't waste our time with Africa. When people make statements like that, what are your response to it?
I just look at them as a coward, because we have had 100 years, we have had a lot more than that, but we have had a good 120 years where America, as we see, the best set of Black people from all over the world here, and we know, and some of the greatest minds here, and I feel that we have had the best chances to do something and develop something with it. We've had other groups of people now coming in, especially like the different facets of Asian groups coming in, and they're just like dominating economics and dominating the neighborhood, that and doing business and doing things that we should be doing, and also dominating the African countries and the Caribbean countries and things like that. But I feel like right now, in a situation like what I push repatriation, this allows us to get some of the best minds in African continent, to work with the best minds there, to develop what we need as a people for ourselves. That way we can be more accommodating to the rest of our people around the world. I mean, it's a shame when you travel around the world and you go to different countries. I want to come to America. I want to come to America. Everything's about coming to America or Europe. And it's like I said, it's heartbreaking, because so many people are not gonna be able to live those dreams, and so many people waste that $150 US dollar to apply for that visa, and some people are gonna apply a few times. We multiply that times all on other people and put it together. You start investing in your own country little by little. You're growing, and as a matter of fact, Ghana is growing, because I remember the last 15 years as being here in America and being here in Ghana, I've seen a steady growth in Ghana, and I've seen in America, I've seen this America kind of stabilize, but at the same time, to some growth in America, but the decline in America I saw was us
the Black people. Exactly.
Because I remember at one point, for a very short period of time, some of us was getting some good jobs here and making some real and getting some real good careers. But now, like I was saying, with the influx of other foreigners, like from the Asian countries and the European countries, and definitely, you have a large group of Indians consistently coming over. Jobs that a lot of us used to work with. People talk about some of these fake Hispanics, but even that situation. So we as dark, black skinned, melanated African people are getting pushed out to the point where I've gotten so many calls about gentrification. People from Toronto all the way down to the different parts of major cities in the U.S. and because folks see Garvey town, and there's asking that this is an opportunity to get away from the madness like that. And I was telling them, absolutely, that's why opportunities like that were created. And we as a people, we're beginning to see America less and less of our home. And as our population gets smaller and smaller because of the influx of so much other people, and then the level of investment from other people, to the point where we're just basically living in communities and paying all the utilities, paying all the rent and the mortgages, and just a supply of just, so we're at the point where we have lost so much to where we're too far behind to catch up. And maybe I'm wrong. People, there's a lot more smarter people than me that have this stuff figured out, but I'm a person that look at winning. And for me, the best place to win at is to organize my resources with other Black people, and for us to do it in Africa.
Hmm. I agree with that. I agree with that. Now you brought up Garvey Town. Let's talk about Garvey Town. And with that being said, can you build a Garvey Town here in America?
Oh, we've tried it. It's called Black Wall Street. There's several Black Wall Streets all across America that we've built from from the early 19th century to even modern day times, and it just get hijacked. It's that fear of the black energy of people coming together and working together and doing what they need to do for themselves. Scare a lot of people because we're everybody's breadbasket of resources and breadbasket of labor. We're the ones that at the highest percentage in the prison system and the highest uh, people in doing some of the worst type of cheap labor. So and people talk bad about us, but they're gonna miss us if we ever just disappear tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And just relocate an African continent. So that's always one of those things where you literally see that it has to play out that way, and and then the oppressor is always going to take that angle. So we have to take the next angle and just do what we need to do, and be like whatever. And so Garvey Town represent the energy, just like Fiancra, and there's several different uh,
But my
organizations out there with land.
uh,
Not, go ahead. I was
no, go go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
not trying to prop Fiancra or anything up, but that's why land and communities like that is that some of us are putting our minds together to have those things available, but at the same time too, it's up to us as a people to empower it because it's for us. And when we empower it, then we solve a lot of the problems that we have here, and we put ourselves in a situation where we could be here even if we're working. We're relocating our resources, we're getting our homes built, getting our communities built, getting our investment going. If all of these things were to work like it should work, but we sometimes can be a little dysfunctional. So that's when people like myself got to get involved in certain things and say, let's pull it together as a people because everybody's watching us and everybody is also pulling for us to come true.
Let's see here. Guys, hit that like button. We have 204 people watching.
Like,
80 like. Let's hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Now, Bomani, you brought up Fihankra.
yeah,
Still, I'll probably ask you this every time you come on because I never from anybody get a straight answer as far as what happened. Yeah, do you know what happened? Like, have you finally got like the information on what happened to the original Fiancra?
yeah. One thing, it's just mismanagement and unorganization when you don't have, you don't have people who are just proficient in logistics and operation, and and with a supporting cast. These things happen. Unfortunately, I mean, but it's still the hope of Africa for us to reconnect as a people is to build some of these communities. We have a lot of people that live in different parts of Ghana, and some live closer to each other and more community. But we just have to build, one of these, communities that we can literally just make it self-reliant as possible. So based on the things that we have learned from Fianca, as far as mismanagement and organization, and trying to implement and connect certain energy with the co-founders of Garvey Town and trying to just get it to where we can just really just move on strong and organized and everything is clear. And that's one of the things I always tell people when I talk to people about business. Like when I have my tours, all my stuff is clear from A to Z, from
Mhm.
cancellations, from so on to to how to carry yourself. And that's one of the things that we as a people don't practice. So so that's what we're trying to organize stronger in Garvey Town. That way we can take advantage of the opportunity while people are feeling the energy and people are trying to get away from here. Because it may, something may turn around. Cory Booker may become president, and next thing you know, he makes Black America the pride of America. But probably not a funny joke or anything. But if maybe I'm crazy, and maybe one of these things may work out one day to where, you know, America straighten up and people like, hey man, I'm not messing with you in Africa, man. America is a place for Black people now. Um,
Because of Cory Booker or Kamala Harris.
you know what I'm saying? They, they, they might pull off something that never been pulled off in history. You know what I mean? The oppressed people will get a victory and actually change things in society. Yeah, but nevertheless, as we know that these things are not realistic and not going to happen, we have to just put forth in just always just have to take it back to the drawing board and reorganize in my own business and things and the people that have built a network within Ghana. We have to keep on doing the same thing too, and you know, and just keep it moving.
Now, Bomani, if you want to speak more on Garvey Town and go into details, go ahead. And also, too, guys, we'll take a couple calls as well. So I'm going to put my email in the chat room. If you want to call in and ask Bomani some questions, that's fine. But go ahead and speak on Garvey Town.
It's absolutely, and for family, for those who are interested in Garvey Town, I'm just giving you the website as I go through a few things, and everything is documented on there, so it's just a form of reference. All of the information for Africa tours and investment, including Garvey Town investment and tours to Ghana every May and December, and South Africa in November. You can visit our website at africafortheafricans.org. And also, if you want email information, newsletters, or just direct information about Garvey Town, you can send me an email at afta2010 at msn.com, and you'll see the email address on the website. And if you want to send me a message, you'll see the phone number also. So once you're on our website, you'll click on the link that say Garvey Town Community in Ghana. And now I'm going to summarize all of these different articles you're going to see. So Garvey Town is a 300-acre community, and it's located in between Accra and Cape Coast, about an hour and a half each way. It's located in a district called Gomoa, and this is in Gomoa, Ezekwa. Right. So I have a nice site map once you get on the website, and then also have a GPS link that once you click on it, it gives you direct directions there. Now it is literally 2 miles off the main road. That's the Accra Cape Coast Road, or Accra Winneba Road, and literally about 7 miles or 7 to 10 miles to the ocean access, or to the beach. So and about a 15-20 minute drive to the beach, depends on which direction you're going. So so you have prime real estate right there in a nice, beautiful tropical, in the most tropical part of Ghana, which is it's called Central Region of Ghana. That's where you have Cape Coast and Elmina, the other tropical cities there in Ghana. Now, as far as Garvey Town is set up similar to a co-op, or a communal, or we just call this uh,
Community, I guess.
a Black Power community. Yeah, all
Yeah,
those.
there you go. Black Power Community. There we go.
Yeah, all those things end up being the same thing. It's a community. I would shorten the word or explain it long. So the goal is for us to organize our resources to where we can literally build a community together, including the business district. So each individual get their own plot of land, and they build on their plot, and that also the money that's invested in you getting a plot. That's also money that's put towards building the roads and other infrastructure in the community. So everything that's being done recycle back into the community, and all of the people that are going to be building the homes are some of the best of us who have the skills, and then the different contractors that sign on to the project. So you can literally get a one plot of land. It's just one plot of land per person, and it's a 300 plot setup. So once the 300 plot is filled up, other options are apartments and condos, which I mean for Garvey Town Company to put together that clarity for the investment, so people can literally invest in a condo or apartment just like they do here, if they don't want to, they don't want to get a lot and buy their own home. So it gives a lot of flexibility, and also all of the business that you have are just business that will keep us self sufficient, and business where we're recycling our resource to where we can invest in more things like factories and hardcore infrastructure, sewer system, water system, power system. So it's kind of it's kind of going back to this corporate economics, us putting our energy together. So the initial set of people from the Garvey Town Company, which they're all from the UK, black brothers and sisters, just like you and I. They put up the initial investment, so that's why they have things set up, and they have the rules, and they have certain things that just deal with righteousness, because it's an energy and a community organized for us based on righteousness, looking to have the best of our people come together, to where even in a situation where there's a big district area for schools, from basic school all the way up to technical and university type of school setup, where people like myself and other people who have certain skills and talents are the ones that are educating our children and how to actually build and maintain a community, and so a nation. So all of these things are just put into place to where it work. Now everything else you have is just lists of videos and lists of pictures as far as a Facebook group page and YouTube video gallery. And all that is a set for everyone that's interested can just listen to the videos, jot questions down, and I can just directly talk with them. And ultimately, this is a setup for our 3 to 5 year game plan as far as those of us who are looking to, be in Africa in the next 5 years. It gives us an opportunity where we can work here and have my business partner and other people on the ground. We can get a lot of the business, like the homes built and things in place while you're here and while you go back and forth with the highest level of trust. And it's just something I had to put together based on the fact that I've seen so many people go through land drama. So I literally felt like I found the best set of Black people as far as having all of the legal stuff in place and all of the things in place to where it make this a community I can come in and kind of work with them and build up and connect some of my other folks that have that same interest. So there's a full process of applications. You have to submit a few different documents. Once you scroll down to the list of documents, you're going to see a getting started link. It's going to talk about background checks. So every individual that's coming have to provide a nationwide background check or a national criminal background check. So all of those things are set to where we just want to make sure that people can, people are open to this submitting these documents, being ready to go, and at the same time too, we don't want people just to just meet us today and just send us all kind of things. You know, once everyone kind of follow the process and follow what's going on, they'll see we're more connected than anything else, and they'll see that this is something that's directly built for us as a people. Because a lot of times we just see so much going on in the world, and then then everybody's doing this for their folks and for each other, and then it's like, what about us? So everything that I'm personally dedicated is for us to connect together and do for us.
Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Please hit that like button. We have 211 people watching on 112 likes. Blaine, Celeste, Dinus, please do a show on how Africans of the diaspora can use echo currency. When I could find somebody who could really go in depth in regards to the new echo currency that's actually going to be rolled out next year.
Yeah, so that means that means 2 years from now.
That's gonna be interesting because I mean I wonder how what the rate's going to be. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today. If it's going to be 1-to-1 with the dollar, because like the SETI and the SEFA and the Naira are all different. So I'm trying to figure out how the echo, how that's going to be.
It's probably not that much different from
in regards to the U.S. dollar.
It's probably different from the SEFA, other than the fact that it's more of an African-based currency versus something that the French people set up for their francophone countries, francophone colonies. I'm sure a lot of folks are excited, man. But a lot of times folks are getting ahead of themselves, man. I advise people first get a passport, to get a visas and things like that. And
right. Yeah.
Going on African continent, and we're always going to be just hearing things on the news and things like that. But at the same time, too, let's get to these different countries and show that we have interest, because us going to different countries make a world of a difference. That's one of the reasons why citizenship in Ghana is being passed around and being offered in certain things. So
okay, now is it being offered or like what's
it's people can apply for citizenship, but you have to qualify. So anybody can apply, but they're gonna turn a lot of people down because you have to meet the requirements. Some of the requirements is you have to physically live in the country anywhere from between 5 to 10 years. Some of those things may be adjusted, but it's a few different things that would disqualify the majority of people applying for it. But nevertheless, the good thing is that communication and that process is open, and some people are getting it. So some people may say, oh, they only gave 200 people. I mean, it's what it is. I remember the first time it was like 30 something people, and I remember before that it was like 1 or 2 people. It's a process of showing something is happening, but it's like at the same time too, none of us should be here watching what's going on. The more we get involved, the more things change. The more we put our money together and do certain things, the more things change. Because the Africans on the continent and the Ghanaians in Ghana are, they're watching and they're looking at these things. So just like if they see majority of us come with our American attitude and act like we're better than them, that's going to be an issue they're going to be talking about. And if more of us come humbly and looking to connect, they're going to appreciate that more. So it's all about our approach a lot of times.
Somebody said the value of the new currency will be established by the U.S. Treasury Department. No.
More than likely, absolutely.
I hope not. And then again, people keep bringing it up in the chat room. What's the purpose of going to Africa if the West is going to continue to meddle in African affairs?
Hey, it's not all the same thing. I mean, you're in a different society. Number one, even situations where you're in Ghana and you just roam down the street and a group of police officers are harassing you,
whooping your ass, yeah, for being black, exactly.
Because I've seen some situations. I'm not even gonna really talk into that, but what they'll do is that it's quickly for them to leave you alone and stuff like that. Here, what I'm saying, here you ain't paying no police off. They'll beat your ass down.
Right.
And even it's probably like a terrible comparison, but the level of humanity and things like that, and you're seeing situations where someone is communicating with a police officer and they're like going back and forth. Here, you say one word, what I'm saying, they get threatened. The next thing they slamming you up down the car door, and all kind of
Right.
drama to deal with. It's a level of humanity still in the country, but at the same time, too, yeah, people don't want to see that same dictatorship government system in place, and people don't want to see the African continent be more self-reliant. But at the same time, too, if we're here just playing around in the stands and just watching what's going on, they got folks got to do what they have to do, and sometimes you have to make a deal with the devil to so your people could eat for another day. And and that's why I always say that us we can look at it however we want to look at it, but we got to get in the game, and that's why I spent the last 15 years on the African continent. Probably had not accomplished a whole lot compared to how people want to judge you nowadays. But I've taken over 400 people to the continent, and small percentage of those people are living there, are planning on living, and a good amount, and some of us are planning on working together and organizing ourselves to do things together, and to work together as a people and survive together as a folks, because you get to the point here where survival is difficult and rough, to where, example, you live in New York City and it's like, for the same size space here, it's
$2,800. $2,800.
Exactly. So that's like literally.
That.
No, that's 4 times. That's 4
times. How many bedrooms do you have?
Bedroom, 1 bathroom, townhouse.
Yeah, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. You said.
Yeah, a small house.
Small. Okay, so in New York right now, like in Harlem, Manhattan, like Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, that's $3,000 minimum.
Yeah, and down here in outside of Atlanta, you can get one of those units anywhere from 700 to 1,000. So literally, like you said, 3 to 4 times the amount. And at the same time, too, a lot of times people think that you're making a lot more money in these these cities. So I've always looked at it as a way of this New York trying to drive up the real estate. So they can just get these prime rich folks there, and it just becomes all about that. But it's like I tell folks that people like myself, I represent the folks that I'm saying we're we're always considered have-nots. We weren't born with much of anything. We just grew up fighting and trying to build what we need to build, and we realize that at the end of the day, if we keep on doing that and putting our money together, we will literally have something as a people, versus chasing politicians to do things for us and trying to live beyond our means by living in rich cities. Like I personally live here in the South here, Jonesboro. I've always, once I escaped from New York in 1996, I never wanted to live back in one of these, so-called urban cities where you just like you're trapped in and everything is overpriced and you don't have the best access to do certain things.
Shout out to Nadu for the super chat, and shout out to Chief Drano for the super chat. He says the world map behind Bomani is wrong. Okay, all right, Chief Drano. I know Africa is supposed to be is not the correct size. I guess that's what he means. Savagery, go ahead, brother. You're on.
Yeah, the map is never the right size until we get some space shuttles and some satellites and start mapping out the globe.
Go ahead, Go ahead, Savagery. You're on.
Yo, what's up? So, quick question: is the topic? Can I talk about anything, or it got to be pertaining to?
Pertaining to the topic, man. Let's keep it. I mean, what's your question?
Okay, You know what? I actually let me think about it. Y'all can go ahead. Hold on, I'll be back.
Okay, all right.
One of the things you could talk about is just all of the, you hear about all of this, the tourist incidents from everywhere outside of Africa. You know, like I was in
Right.
Ghana and I was in Ghana for 2 weeks with a group, and then a week later, I stayed a week with a few friends, and we did some business and some social gatherings and some other things, um, documentation and so on, and we was out all the time, and it's just a beautiful, peaceful country. Two things do happen there, but it's like telling folks, man, they don't know what they're missing, man. And the only bad set of things, I mean, and I want folks to hear me out that I'm not trying to blame Nigerians for for anything there in Ghana.
Here we go. Here we go. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the same time, just like other places, you have people close by you, and they move they come over and they bring some of their bad stuff. But at the same time, too, what I've seen happen in Ghana is that a lot of good Nigerian energy as far as business and investment. So you're gonna have when you're gonna have a little bit of things going on, and things have changed because people are gonna say Ghana was very peaceful and they're hearing certain things, and a little bit of stuff that you hear is not as bad. Is not as bad. And as far as us, as the people from the diaspora, um, beyond just like the real estate scams and overprices and things like that, you're literally good. But I tell people a lot of times too, people do stupid stuff and are not exactly street smart in their decisions to do business. And and sometimes people, so a lot of the issues that people have had in the past is because they've not approached the culture of where you do business in that country properly. And in case, you're gonna get victimized. Um, and it could happen to people from that country. But beyond that, I'd like never really have much bad things or anything to say about just being in Ghana for the last 12 and a half years. And so, so folks, I didn't hear no incidents of any couples disappearing or anything. And so all that stuff that goes
Right.
in the Caribbean, that's just ridiculous, man. You got to be in a country where your own people are going to look out for you. And, and it's just, so not trying to put down any of these Spanish speaking countries, but family, keep away from some of these Spanish speaking Portuguese countries. And come to if you want to be safer, come with me and my crew. We have we have security, we have and we have a force of folks that's gonna look out for you, all the time. To where people literally get on jet planes and they go to Ghana by themselves after they travel with me and connect with our folks, and people remember them and they're good.
Shout out to the Duke for the super chat again. She says, what did CARICOM do for the Bajans when the colonizers stole their lands? And then let's see here. Then we got brother Ya Akra Akan Bomani, the tourism minister in Ghana, put out a call for Ghanaian diasporans to return home, and generally they're bashing her on social media.
Why would somebody bashing the Ghanaian minister of tourism?
Yeah.
Wow, maybe I didn't see that video. I mean, what could they be saying about her? She's just trying to market her country.
And then somebody said, Wodi Maya says Ghana authorities doesn't treat him good.
Yeah, I'm sorry that those things happen to him, but at the same time too, when you put yourself out there, people gonna approach you, and and I'm one of the person that I've had peace and love, wherever I travel to, but you have to know how to carry yourself. And some people, their mouth is too big. I'm not trying to say anything about the brother itself, but you know, um, you do, you have to just be careful about doing things to irritate people. I know you can't please everybody, and so on, but it may be one of those personal situations sometimes that people may have with him, or.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Ghana.
What happened? What happened to him in Ghana?
I don't know. You just read me a comment or something. Say say he said the Ghana authorities don't treat him proper.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he's he's always doing something to get arrested somewhere or something. But not saying
He is always getting arrested somewhere. That's weird.
He's controversial. It's controversial. When you're controversial, you're gonna get into issues. People like
But
myself.
he's not that controversial. Like that's all. I don't. He's not controversial at all. But he's always getting arrested.
Yeah, so you got to be doing something when you go to these countries. People like myself, I just fly on. I just do my best to fly on the radar, other than my usual antics to do marketing to get people to come to Africa with me.
All right.
But
Metu Judah wants to know who controls the manufacturing industries in Ghana. Do you know?
I can definitely Ghanaians to a point. But if you're talking about other folks, Asians and Lebanese and
Lebanese. Yeah, Lebanese. Yeah.
people who are the popular international traders of the world, you're gonna see them everywhere in Jamaica, Ghana, wherever you go. Even if it's a unit of them, they always look at those businesses as big business and they can make it work. Like when I was walking around East Legon, our neighborhood that we stay in, I saw representation from almost every single nation. I saw Turks, you saw folks from Lebanese, from their restaurants to their business, all set up in this wonderful neighborhood. Even though the neighborhood is predominantly African owned business, but you just see their mark of just trying to set up what they need to set up because they realize it's a great opportunity, and what better people to exploit than than a continent that's been colonized and exploited for hundreds of years and plus thousands of years. So we have to see the same value that the Lebanese, the Chinese, the Indians, whoever, they're gonna if something is good, people gonna want to get in, and so it's just we gotta see the fact that just because they're coming in, that is not a trap. That we just need to come in stronger and and catch up. And that's why I'm saying communities like Garvey Town, Fiancra, and there's a Panafest community that's there in Cape Coast, not too far from where One Africa is. And
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, a bunch of people are organized. Ever since the 2019 year of return, a lot of chiefs in Ghana, they're like, they got to get in on this, because at the same time, too, people may say what they want to say, but it's like a lot of our folks feel bad that the situation happened, and even
Right. And rightfully so.
yeah, absolutely. Our folks, we know also about how we always have these sellouts that's willing to sell all of us away. So I always tell people that is was in the minority of us, even though this exploded to the worst way. But they want to do the best they can do, and a lot of them don't have much to offer. So they're offering land, and I just feel like that's and in a situation where you don't have to put much down. Like even in Garvey Town, by the time we give people the prices, it's just to cover certain things because you can't just give anything away for free.
What you guys are offering at Garvey Town as far as the price, it's not. I mean, it's reasonable.
Yeah, that's based on that's what we consider free land. That's as close as free as possible because you have to pay. Like everybody is working on it, and people have to be paid, and the family that the land is given to, they don't want to just give you the land and you come up and you just and then because I've seen that too. I've seen where land is being given, and then our folks from America build up the nice community, and then everybody around them is poor. And we can't do that. We all have to rise together. So the money for the land and stuff like that, I always tell people that is for paying and for the people there that's handling business to reinvest. But at the same time, it's a level of those resources being reinvested with us. So family, as long as you don't have to pay no more than $2,000-$3,000 altogether for the land and everything, consider that free.
Yeah. That's. I mean, for $2,000 to $3,000 for a plot. And how far from the beach is it?
You're looking at about 7 to 10 miles, about 15-20 minute drive.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's not bad at all. What all is in the area? Like what all?
The West Hill Mall, the biggest mall in West Africa. That's about 15 minutes from there.
Okay. So whoa. So the okay. I'm thinking. So are you? Because that West Hill Mall is in Accra, isn't it? Or was considered Accra?
Yeah, I mean that's outside of Accra. So if you go down about another 30 minutes, that's Garvey Town. I mean, so McCarthy Hill, all these other fancy.
Yeah, McCarthy Hill. Yeah. Because West Hill Mall is by McCarthy Hills.
Yeah, Crocobite, Bojo Beach, all of that is like because
Yeah.
it took a drive. It was like 15-20 minutes the most, and we were right there. So I was explaining to everybody. I was like, you see the difference. The development stops in between where Garvey Town is, a few miles out of it. So that road will be expanded to 2 roads on each side. two lanes on each side, and then all of the the empty real estate will be filled up in homes and business outside that area, and also in the community. So when you're doing these projects, you have to look at the future. You have to look at 5 to 10 years from now. It's like when
exactly.
It's like West Hill Mall. I literally remember when that mall wasn't there, and I literally remember coming back and the mall was there.
Right.
And the same thing with Accra Mall.
So you're saying Garvey Town is 15 minutes from Bojo Beach?
Probably about 20 minutes from Bojo Beach. West Hill Mall, Bojo Beach, all that area. It's literally anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So it's that close.
Okay, well that's not that bad.
Yeah, you're right there. So just like when we're ready to go to the beach, we just all pack up in our van or bus, and then we just go hang out at Bojo Beach, or we have some folks at Croquet Beach that have a resort. We just go there, hang out at the resort. We can throw different gatherings and things. You know, when we hit the jackpot, you know, maybe I hit the jackpot and have me a yacht out there or something. I mean, and enjoy boat rides at nighttime. I mean, I just look at the future and I look at what you can realistically do as Black people by putting your money together. I look at what we try to do here and what we go through here, and I just realize that everybody have a right to make the decision to either go back and forth or move or look forward to Africa or just stay here. So but. The best thing I would always recommend to folks is that you have to really survey the options. You can't really just be here all your life and then talk down about Africa. And I'm telling people I've been to 6 continents, and my best time in my life has been just across the African continent. Mainly just in Ghana. Ethiopia is not a great journey. Even when I went to South Africa back in the days, 2005, that was an incredible journey. I mean, there's just no comparison. But I've been to. I've been to some of these countries. I've been to Singapore, Malaysia, incredible, beautiful, clean country, no comparison. And then people may say, how you gonna say that compared to a little bit of dirt roads here and open sewers and things? But it's like, when you can look past one or two little flaws that that the European oppressive colonization system set up, which just laid out bad infrastructure that you got to eventually fix in the future. You can look past that, but when you look at humanity and look at situations where you see 2 people arguing and no one is going to throw a blow, they argue for an hour.
Right.
And that's not happening here. You say one word, I say one word, and somebody hitting somebody.
Right. And then guns are being drawn.
Yeah, and then even when I go out to the nightlife, there's a few places I went to were literally holes in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my crew there, we had a great time. And no fighting, no drama, no issues. And and plus the drinks are cheap.
Very cheap.
Compared, I've been in England where you go to the bar and you're out with friends and you compare the money in America is everything is ridiculously overpriced at being at the most expensive club here and then a little bit more. And everything in European countries is just literally overpriced and same thing in America. And you go to a country like Ghana, you have humanity, you have mango trees, banana trees, you have fruits and vegetables out there. You have, and the best benefit is we have the best weather in all them countries that I named since we've been talking. Almost perfect weather. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here in the chat room. But everyone, again, thank you for joining. Make sure we have 282 people watching, only 147 likes, guys. Hit that like button as you come into the in the chat room. Someone was asking how much for a plot of land in Garvey Town. He said about 2 to 3K. Don't quote me on that, but
I give the basic price. It's $640 for 70 by 100, and then it's $220 to clear the land and set up your pillars, and then it's a $300 administration fee from my office to represent you and take care of everything for you, and make sure everything work out for you, and keep you posted, updated on all that good stuff, and provide you just the direct support that you need to make sure people don't, you don't have to deal with no drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, but to add it up, not much now. Just add it up real quick. 20 plus 300 plus 640. $1,160, and so that's the base.
Or a plot of land in Ghana. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, Bomani, that's I think you charge it too less, Bomani.
Yeah, it's not my prices. It's just the price. Only thing we add is administration costs.
Yeah.
I think I tell people every business I do, I have for my technical business. So
you gotta be paid for your time. I mean,
I make a living off administrative costs. So That's why I've spent a lot of money designing this high-tech office, and I get everything done here. I get more done than 5 people at any business office. Yeah.
And think about it, man. Okay, so once you buy the land, do you have a certain period of time to build, or how does it work?
Oh yes, you have to build within 5 years.
Okay, and then
Make it livable to where you can live in it at least at the 5-year mark. So good.
Okay, what happens if you don't build after 5 years? You forfeit the land, or how does it work?
No, if you completely just don't build, what we can always do is just put you on another. We're working on 1 to 1 plot number 1 to 100 right now. What we do for those who just literally not ready, because we do understand the situation, and other people may be ready to build, so we basically swap them out. Like I have a situation where I have a sister that's ready to build, and I end up swapping her out and putting her in a plot closer to where the land is already cleared, and where so she can start getting things going. So one of the things you're doing, you're just trying your best to be humane as possible, and look out for people. And everything's not about how much money you can give me. And and at the end of the day, I tell people that's how I survive in business: being honest with people from day one, and letting people know upfront about everything, and not hiding anything or playing games. And you won't make the bigger part of money in that business, but at least you will stay in business, and you get consistent customers, and and you'll build more of a love for what people more love you for what you're doing versus looking at you as just, well, that person's all about business and money. Because I've heard people talk about some people, I'm like, man, that's terrible how they look at them, but at the same time too, that's how they market themselves, that they're all about money and all about this, and sometimes people want to talk to people. I tell people, you can call me anytime. There's no cost to call me. And if you want to ask me about business or anything I can share, I do business service and consultation, stuff like that. But it doesn't have to even always be like that. Let's talk and connect as a people, especially if we try to do the same thing. And us being successful is going to help the rest of us. I'm not sure people ever look at it like that. Just like my tour and technology business, I'm always trying to give insights and trying to get more people in that business, especially technology. It's the world of this advanced to where you can just be in your mother's basement and then build up a technology enterprise.
Now, as far as Ghana is a little bit different. It's a 50-year or 99-year lease. I don't know which one. Can you explain as far as how ownership works on Garvey Town?
Yeah, it's set. The arrangements and agreements are a little bit different, but it's still set for us as a 99-year lease. But typically, if you're a Ghanaian citizen, 99 years what you get, and if you're a foreigner or if you don't have a Ghanaian citizen, it's 50 years. So that's the standard. This agreement, Garvey Town, is a little bit different, but after just going through the agreement over and over, everything on there to say 99 years. So that's what was agreed with by both parties, and the people who sign off on it that actually own the land and the family, and the legal representation from the courts.
So is it owned by a Ghanaian family?
Oh yes, owned by a Ghanaian family.
Okay.
Ghanaians don't play around with their land. Well, can't say all of them. Some are giving it away to all kind of folks who shouldn't be getting land.
Yeah.
But yes, it's and the deal is a good deal because Garvey Town has to build a medical center. Anything that's being built is for the people locally also. We did talk about it's an African diaspora community, meaning that the majority of the plots has to be sold to people from the African diaspora, which only makes sense because there's so much other developments that different Ghanaians are doing around Ghana that will suit many Ghanaians, but it's to help as much of us as possible to go there. And then there are going to be certain parts, not certain parts, but there's going to be additional parts of the property open for Ghanaians, and they're not going to be like isolated anywhere separate. But that's not explained to me all the way. And there's also condos and apartment investments. So the site map more so show the plots of land for the homes because that's what you're pushing. But there's other things that you're trying to work out. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a full-fledged community, and 1-2 generation from now, everyone is all African citizens, and we're back to simplicity.
Now, after the 99-year lease is up, what happens?
It's automatically a renewable lease. So what you see in the paperwork is a 99-year.
Okay.
Unless there's issues or something that needs to be addressed. But
now so say after year 20, in the 99-year lease, I want to sell my home on the land.
Right.
How does that work?
Perfect. The person would have to fill out, they have to apply for membership for Garvey Town, and then they can, they'll be eligible to live on the land. So if you want to sell your land to like an Asian or a white person, it would be like, hell no, that won't happen. It's in the laws. And if you want to sell to another qualified person from the diaspora or a Ghanaian, that'll be authorized.
Okay. Now, so if it's a 99-year lease and I sell to somebody after year 20, is it a 79-year lease for that person that buys, or is it automatic 99-year lease? Like, how does it work?
That is a great question. That's a great question. The lease should be automatically renewed for that person, and it could be the other way around. So that is one of the things I honestly don't know, but I would definitely put that in one of my Q&A questions when I talk to the Lands Commission folks and when I talk to any of my folks from Ghana coming up. So that is an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously, if I'm leasing, if I sublease my apartment and after and I have a 2-year lease and I sublease it after year 1, then for the new person, it'll only be for a 1-year lease. I'll only be able to sublease it for a year unless I renew after the 2 years. So it's just,
yeah.
I don't understand the whole leasing system. As far as buying land, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, on a mortgage here, it said like the same thing to 99-year. I have to look at some of these small writing in the paperwork. But a lot of what goes on in Ghana, even citizenship, is not that much different from America. Because even when I was with our family, we moved from Jamaica. I've had to live here for 7 years before I was able to apply for citizenship. And once I turned 19, I was able to apply for it after being here for so long. And then some of the similar things you have to do, and paperwork and everything. But it's the same thing with the real estate, except just Africa as a concept that they try to explain to people that people don't own land. The land is there for the people in the community. Yeah, but yeah. So so that's it, man. A lot of the stuff is very similar, not that much different.
Now, what about shout out to Fafu Malal. She wants to know, is there a Jamaican embassy consulate in Ghana? I would think so. I'll be shocked if there's not.
I'm not that I know of, but I'm sure they're trying to work that out more since the energy is a little more prominent.
Yeah, there has to be one there.
Just like there's no Nigerian or Ghana embassy in Jamaica, which is always shocking to me because
there's no Ghana embassy in Jamaica.
Yeah, I would at least think it would be a Nigerian embassy because there's a lot of Nigerians that go to Jamaica.
Right. But there's a Jamaican embassy in Ghana, right?
Jamaican embassy in Ghana.
It has to be.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah. No, you're true.
And that's what I'm saying also, that a lot of the connections that we as a people need to be made has to be forged by us. So for the Ghanaian government to go to different parts of the Caribbean and try to strengthen those relationships and try to encourage the connection. And then eventually, we have to get Ethiopian Airlines to reroute some of the flights, to work from the Caribbean to Africa. Because, when you look at the flow of how flights work, flights all go to America and or Europe. And then you don't have much options when you start hitting the South America market of flights that go to Africa. And then right in the Caribbean, there's no flight destination that goes to the African continent. So it's these are all relationships that we're in the right direction to building. Yeah. As a matter of fact, it's about time to get that Marcus Garvey Black Star line.
Right, exactly.
Get some ships to go back and forth as far as cargo and trade. So we can always look at it two different ways. But I tell people, as long as we keep fighting and not giving in, we'll get somewhere. Yeah, it's just us doing all the other things that kind of hold us back. But I see a new future for us as a people, especially that connection from the Caribbean to to Africa. And
1 second, I'm just sending something off.
Yes, I see you got your museum background.
Yeah. This is my artwork. I got a ton of it. So
there you go, man. I'm waiting for when I move to the continent to build back up my stash. I've had to downsize.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we have here. Powerful Being, do you just want to come on the chat?
Come on.
Can you please ask Bomani about structures? Can we import modular homes to the land?
Can we import what to the motherland?
Modular homes.
Oh, modular homes. I got you. Oh, absolutely. Even your prefab container homes. You can even order it from Alibaba or just get it done here or wherever and have it shipped over. Or you can have a prefab and set up there in Ghana. But I guess the idea if you get a prefab is you want to when you get it there you want to be ready to live it. You want to live in it. So that's always a great idea. And
Okay.
I've seen some good stuff on YouTube that just turn into a believer.
Someone is saying the embassy is in Nigeria, Jamaican embassy.
Yeah. So that I can understand right there because the relationship is a little tighter.
Oh, okay.
In Jamaica and Nigeria.
Okay. All right. So the brother's Dimitri. I just sent you the link, so we're waiting on you.
Yeah.
And then after you come on, we'll go ahead and close out. So Dimitri Wade, we're waiting on you. I just sent you the link.
Perfect. Nigeria good stuff for Jamaica. They bring a lot of the Christianity over. They do a little bit of that too.
So, but everyone, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button too. Dimitri Wade, we are waiting on you. I sent the link.
Clickety clack.
Yeah. We'll give you 1 minute, then we'll go ahead and close out. Oh yeah, Brandon Watt. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Brandon Rogers could build. Can he build those modular homes? Brandon Rogers. You know who Brandon Rogers is, Bomani?
Oh yes, he's an architect that's been here in Ghana. I used to work with the Fianca project. I met him in 2006. I still know him to this day. I'm trying to get him on the Garvey Town project with us, but he's been tied up with a lot of his own big projects. So I'm hoping that we can, he can be one of the people that will help build some of the different homes in Garvey Town. So, but good brother, man. And this, as a matter of fact, that's how you return to the continent. The brother left when he was in university. When he finished university as an architect and build his career in Ghana. Impressive. Yeah, so,
you there? Okay.
Yeah, so he can definitely build dome homes and a lot of different homes.
Okay. Yeah, pretty. I need to. He was actually here in Atlanta not too long ago, but I was out of the country when he came in. I was gone.
Yeah, if he's here, man, and folks know this is. Well, I'll be here laying low, but usually around. But yeah, if I know he's here, I'll definitely reach out to him. One of the things I explained to him is that it's a lot of homes got to be built there. So
yeah, but why would you import a modular home to Ghana?
All right, cool. Dimitri's on.
All right, Dimitri, go ahead. Ask your question.
So, thank you for giving me a second chance. So basically, I really ain't got a question. I really got more of a statement. So my whole thing was, I actually want to give ADOS a good look because basically the whole purpose of it is to help the brother, like how he was talking about building in Africa. Because my whole goal is once the ADOS people in America actually can build an infrastructure and get wealth, we could do like what the Jewish people did and help Black people throughout the world with the resources we gain here. Like I know some ADOS people on that coon shit like fuck Africa as a whole. Nah, I ain't on that. I'm basically saying we can't help Africa if we can't even help ourselves in America.
What are your thoughts, Bomani?
That's definitely one way of looking at it. But at the same time, too, you have to. We can't wait here and try to help ourselves in America because we have had the best resources here in America to do many things with, and a lot of the things that went wrong is not our fault. We built great communities, and these white devils burn the shit down and bomb us, and and destroy what we're working towards and put us against each other. But it's time for at least us to give Africa some energy, even if it's 1% energy of what we have here in Black America. And absolutely, I mean, all these movements and everything, we have to work together as a people. And other people are counting on us fighting and arguing, having beef with each other and things like that. So I've told people that I have no issues with anyone. I'm willing to do what it takes to work with as much of us as possible so we can you know, at the end of the day, you know, we need to build Black America. At the end of the day, we have to build Black Africa. So, you know,
Agreed.
whoever feel the most strength to work on work on it, and whoever can do both, do both. But at the same time, to you know, we just have to just keep on pushing peace, and you know, to tell people I'm also going to work on playing nice, so you know, so people can see us really being, you know, cool and good with each other, and everything not about beef and you know and debates and things like that.
I'm gonna say this and be done because I ain't gonna be long winded. But see, like my whole thing is, don't you think at some point when they see that black people leaving to go to Africa and build up there, they're gonna be like, wait a minute, y'all niggas think y'all slick, so let's just burn down the shit y'all build in Africa too.
Those things have always been in place also, but at the same time too, you literally got to make a move. You literally can't. Being here in America is like being you know, we title it as a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying? You're a sitting duck for anything that's to happen to you. You build enough strength in Africa, you're good. And that's the issue. And that's, you know, maybe a little scary to folks, but people like myself, my life is dedicated until I don't have any more breath, until my body falls, to making it work in Africa for us. And you know, as you see my shirt, Africa for Africans, been in business for you know, almost 13 years, and you know, it's not a lot of us that's willing to do that. So that's why I'm always saying that we need more energy on that. And then, you know, we have enough energy in America. We just have to use the resources properly. And you know, I saw a committee where you had senators and people in Congress having a communication about reparations and things like that. You know, we don't have any kind of representation, not even one, you know, not even one or two of these folks that represent us saying, the African continent, let's try to build something and help some of our.
Exactly.
So yeah, so definitely, but I'm with you, and you know, and I feel like, you know, we're at the same situation where we see the need for us to take care of, well, America or Africa, and it's a situation where we just got to push that there's no beef and no issue with that, and we should all work to do what's best as we see.
All right, thank you all, Dennis, for having me on. Y'all two have a good night, okay?
No problem, brother. No problem. No problem. Shoot, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you for joining. Bomani, anything you want to share in closing? Also, you give everybody your contact information and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, family. I'm just share with you one of our tour T-shirts. So, family, this is our website at the bottom, africafortheafricans.org. Visit our website and check out all the details for Garvey Town. Check out our tours for Ghana, May and December, South Africa in November. And just reach out if you have any questions, you want to talk, you want to meet. I'm here to connect with you to make sure that we represent you right as far as your reconnection to the African continent. And if you're open for investment, we have a lot of investment opportunities. So, family, and for those who want to send me a text or WhatsApp or just reach out to me via phone call, it is 404-931-9429. Email address afta2010@msn.com. And then our website here. And then you can find me on YouTube, Facebook. All of it is under the name of Bomani Tyehimba. And then you know, you'll see me from anyone else with that name, because you'll see the African spirit revolution when you know, connect with us.
What was it? Africa for the somebody put in the chat room. AfricaForTheAfricans.org. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, cool. And everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Like, share, and subscribe, family. Hit that notification bell too. Till next time, Dynasty Samir, Search for Uhuru. Peace.
All right, family, take care.
No problem. Thank you.